Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Dave's Faves, number 101. And number 101, as we begin our next big clump of faves, is Shostakovich's 24 Preludes and Fugues for piano. And my favorite performance is this one, with Jenny Lind on Hänssler. And believe me, I've heard all of these. And Jenny Lind is somebody who you may overlook, and you would do so to your peril. She is a tremendous artist. She specializes in contemporary music. She has unbelievable fingers. They can just do anything, and they do here. And I remember vividly hearing this and really looking forward to it because you know, we grew up on Nikolaeva, of course, who is kind of heavy. Even in her early first one, she's a very serious, heavy, somewhat dark timbred pianist. And then you had Keith Jarrett on ECM, who was just the opposite. He was like light and fluffy. And you know, Jarrett's interpretations tend to be extremely straightforward and rather cool. Very, very cool emotionally. Maybe because he's a cool jazz guy. I don't know. So then we're waiting for others. And then they all started coming out. Millions and billions of them. There was Sherbakov, which is very good. And Ashkenazi, which is very good. And Melnikov, which is very good. I mean, they're just now. And David Joubert on Atma, who is extremely good. I mean, they just keep coming. But this one popped out. And it is, I think, in some ways the best of all. It has lightness where the music asks for lightness, and weight of sonority and passion where the music asks for passion, and also great naturalness, especially in the fugues. And you know, the one I always played, I think it was an A flat. It's the one that's the arpeggio fugue. Da 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 ba 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 da 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 da. And it gushes like a stream. It's one of those pieces I test all the different performances on because it should be played completely without affectation. And that's what Jenny Lind does. She gets it. She just gets it. But when you get to the big D minor fugue at the very end, and some of the other ones that have you know more fiber in their bones, she's got the fiber in her playing, and especially that really glum fugue, you know, the one in the middle, do 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 do. That fugue, which it sounds like it's going on forever. I mean, Richter does it. It takes like 15 minutes or something. You just want to kill yourself. It's awful. You don't want it to be glib, but, you know, everything has its limits, right? I just think that these performances are so beautifully balanced, and I just adore the work. I mean, let's just talk about this for a minute. You've got 24 preludes and fugues in all the major and minor keys, like Bach's well-tempered clavier. And what makes this so remarkable is that Shostakovich is not known as a composer for the piano at all, even though he was a pianist. And he didn't compose at the piano, ever. He didn't. It was all in his head, and he just wrote it down. He had that kind of a gift. And so when this thing popped out, it took a long time for it to sink into people's brains that Shostakovich, whose music was supposed to be so, you know, expressive of some sort of, you know, hidden socialist realist angst, which it is, of course. I mean, you know, it does that, and especially these orchestral pieces, which, you know, are so tragic and so deep and so unlearned, so emotionally direct. I mean, they're extremely learned. They are, but the learning, you know, is supports the emotional expression in these big orchestral pieces. Whereas here, there is emotional expression, but it's sort of the opposite way around. The emotional expression is expressed through structure and form. And Shostakovich and Russian composers generally always get crapped on because they're not supposed to know anything about structure and form, except maybe for Taneyev. You know, I mean, there are a couple, but, you know, no one listens to them because they know something about structure and form, which Russians are not supposed to do. So it really took some time before really Nikolaeva's recording released on Hyperion is what did it. I mean, there were some samples. Shostakovich played a few of them, Richter played a few of them, but basically the whole set the significance of the whole set as a piece of music, as a work of art, as a second monument to prelude and fugacity, that didn't begin to sink in, and really until the past 20 years or so. And then, of course, recordings began to proliferate. So now there are quite a few of them. And I just, sonically, this is magnificent. The bass of the piano is so rich and so well caught. It's gorgeous. And I just think this is very smart piano playing. It's wonderful to listen to. But I like a lot of performances. These, again, this is the one I reach for when I want to hear the Shostakovich Preludes and Fugues. So I recommend it very strongly. It's on Hänssler. It's fabulous. Jenny Lin is a great pianist. She really is. And she's done quite a bit of stuff for Steinway and Hänssler and other things, some of which is just marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. And this is certainly in the marvelous category. So keep on listening, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. And check out the Dave's Faves playlist at the bottom of this video. Take care.